Happy Monday, you guys. Looks like it's gonna rain here in Sacramento, but I'm actually looking forward to that. Nice chill day. Gonna sit up here. We got things going. We got things popping and flowing. I was gonna talk today a little bit about like spirituality stuff. Like, how do you relate to the divine, to the universe, to spirit, to God, to whatever you call it, Allah? How do you observe God, the universe, quantum theory, science, whatever in your life every day? Because what I find, I don't care how you denominate your religious and your practices. What I find is that people who tend to be successful have some form of it. They have some grasp of where they find God. And by God, I mean answers. Answers that bring calm when they ask a question. Because really that's what people look for. That is the actual connection people look for. The thing that connects them to earth, that connects them to the world, that connects them to people, but also allows them to transcend who they are to help other people. And people don't quite understand why that's important. It's funny. One of the channels I like to watch, one of the things I like to watch is School of Hard Knocks, where he interviews millionaires and billionaires, and he talks, but the crazy number of times you see people thank God, or they acknowledge their spirituality, their practice, and people, oh, they're so humble, they're so, and it's like, yeah, because they acknowledge the fact that, like, it's not just about them. Wealth is not about them. Wealth is not about who you are. Wealth is wealth is the actual accumulation of, I don't want to say value, but I have to say value, because in one sense, value as sure in currency, but also value in the weight of the worth, the weight of the word, the weight of the action, the weight of the deed. You have to understand and assume that the moment matters. You'll see people say, and it's even more so, you have to be curious. Because when religion started, it was God was it was God. Like, it was a word, it, you know? Like, they didn't put a word to it, they didn't know how to name it. It was it. But they were curious. They were curious about how God showed up to them, how the universe showed up to them, how the spirits showed up to them, how their ancestors showed up to them. And then their showing up, that told them that they were favored or blessed. Now, the thing is, that's perception. That's how you perceive what happened. That's how you take in that information, that energy, and then you transmute it to something else. See, because like that moment you can perceive and conceive what that blessing is, like, because you don't know what a blessing is until you know what a blessing is. I want you to really think about that. You really don't know what a blessing is until you know what a blessing is. Because you could miss a flight that crash. You could be late to a bank robbery and not get shot. You could be late getting to the corner of 65th and Stockton, and you just missed being in a car accident or introducing yourself to a drive-by. You don't know what the blessing is until you get to the blessing. And see, what it is like, we're talking about this because I find that people don't understand their curiosity. They're afraid of curiosity because they want answers. They assume the worst, or they assume their past. See, because like if you're assuming your past, if you're assuming the bad things that happen, if you're assuming the things that came before to happen again, then they will. Because you perceive that as your reality. That is where you're living right now. But if you sit there and you perceive and you assume the truth that, guess what, this right here, this life right now is everything. And this moment right now, I am living the greatest moments of my life. I am living the most astounding, the most beneficial, the most blessed and highly praised, the most favored. You can gas it up all you want, but the moment you realize it's true, like no matter how bad you got it, no matter how good you got it, if you're sitting up there, you're showing up every day, and you realize that today is where you wanted to be 5 years ago, where you wanted to be 5 months ago. You're right there now. And yeah, it may not look like the way you want it to, but it looks the way it looks. It looks like the investment you put in to get you here right now. So when you're sitting up there and you're thinking, oh man, yeah, you're right. But you better recognize what that blessing is. Because if you don't take the time to recognize and acknowledge what the blessing is, or that the blessing gets present even if you are unaware, that's where gratitude comes in. You are grateful for the moment. You got to realize it's still time on the clock. You got the ball in your hands. You decide if this game over or not. You missed the shot, it's okay, go for the rebound. You decide if this game over or not. See, because the universe, God, whatever, that reality in which you've achieved and you've done the damn thing, you went to that next level, right? That reality, it exists. The only difference is you decided to take action and be the person that did it. You can't be sitting up there going, oh man, I think, okay, whatever you think is probably right. Bro was about to, he was stressing. I'm like, you got a good 18, 20 inches over there, bro, come on. But anyway, like I say, you sit there, you see people sitting. It's crazy to me. Because like, I've always been isolated. Like I always lived in the I guess like my sister says the most ridiculous reality. Because like for me, my life is ridiculous. I know that, but I made it that way. You know what? You know how cool it is when my friends talk. Like I don't get invited to parties. I don't get invited to much of anything. But when people, cause like they're like, man, well, John's probably doing something cooler than this. And I'm like, I don't really do anything, but I do. It's just when I do something, I'm over the top. I'm all in to that moment. I'm there. That's the ultimate presence. It's to sit there and you realize that, hey, I might not have this, but I got that. Let's go. And then you solve whatever thing comes up. You solve it because you know God wouldn't have put you there if he didn't believe you could do it. I know the universe didn't put me there if I couldn't get out of it. I don't sit there and go, oh man, I don't. No. You know how cool it is to realize that every moment you're blessed, even when it don't look too hot. I got the ball. If I pass the ball and I said I don't want to take the shot, and I just sat up there and I go put myself on the bench, or let somebody else live my life, somebody else tell me what to do, am I living? You gotta remember, trusting in God, trusting in the source, the universe, Yahweh, whatever, Jehovah, Allah, however you align with God, however you align with source, however you align with energy flows through you, however you align with It's true. And if you want God to be true, if you want good things to be true, if you want miracles to be true, you have to observe them. You have to realize you see them every day. You have to live in them, breathe them, enjoy them. Because like you are blessed and abundant. That is final boss syndrome. I don't know why I keep doing it. I'm trying to say energy and I keep saying injury or something. I don't know. I think my face is getting a little tired from me talking so much. But like I said, that's final boss energy. Energy. Whew. My dog is over there having a fit. But whatever. Look, you're looking for a coach, you're looking to sell to get your mind right in the gym, outside of the gym, or just, get that bread up. Holla at your boy. Coach is out.